all can stay in the shade for a while, that's fine. Good afternoon, my name is Bob Duff. I represent Norwalk and Darien in the State Senate, and we wanted today just to highlight some really great news for the City of Norwalk through the state budget, our Connecticut state budget, and make sure that we also invited those who have received funding from the state budget to join with us today to talk about a little bit about what they do and how they're contributing and how we've contributed as well, and all the great works that they're doing for our constituents as well. So I just want to, again, just talk a little bit about Connecticut's commitment to the City of Norwalk and what that means for the people of our city and in our community. What I'm pleased to say is that over the last 2 years in the biennium, Norwalk has received $296 million from the state of Connecticut, whether that's in operating or that's in some capital investments or money to some of our great nonprofits that we have. We have a lot to celebrate. First and foremost, I want to thank the delegation who this couldn't happen without them. We have today Representative Travis Sims, Representative Luthi Dathan, and Representative Stephanie Thomas. Representative Chris Perone, unfortunately, is out of state, cannot be here. But without everybody's collective work together, without the votes, without everybody's hard work, Lucy Dathan is the vice chair of the Appropriations Committee, which you can talk about in a little bit. Without her hours of hard work and everyone else who participates in all the various committees in the legislature, none of this would happen. And so we're just so excited and so thankful for them and for their hard work and that they do each and every day, committed to their constituents to make their districts, the City of Norwalk and the state of Connecticut, an even better place to live, work, and raise a family. So we're really excited about that. So I want to just highlight a few things today, and then we'll have the mayor come up, and then the delegation and some of the folks behind me can certainly say a few words if they'd like to. But there's some really important things for us today. Again, we're just shy of $300 million over the biennium for the City of Norwalk. But a few things that we want to let our constituents know about. One is that our aid to the City of Norwalk, to the city budget, has increased 29.7%. So we'll say it's 30% over 2 years. That's a pretty impressive number as far as I know. And so I'm really excited about that, because what that means to property taxpayers and to people in the city, businesses and others, is that extra state money means that the mayor and the council and others don't have to raise property taxes. That money coming from Hartford allows us to make critical investments, but also at the same time keeping tax bills low. And so that 30% increase over 2 years, I know, Mayor, has I'm sure been very, very helpful to you. We have restored the Alliance District funding. That was scheduled to go away because of the fact that the 5 years had expired and Norwalk schools are doing well, but we extended that for another couple of years because we know that meant about $5 million for the City of Norwalk, whether it's for the city or for the Board of Ed. That was really very important. We have a new reimbursement for excess costs for special ed. And because of the fact that we are a Alliance district, we'll be seeing more money for that as well. I want to thank particular Senator Martin Looney, our Senate President, who was instrumental in putting that into our state budget. That means the fact that the Board of Education can use its resources in other ways, and they'll see increased money from the state of Connecticut. I just want to remind people that this will be year 4 coming up of our new ECS formula, education cost sharing formula, and that's going to be really important because of the fact that we have a 10-year phase-in, and this formula is good for Norwalk, it's good for Stamford, it's good for our cities. When the formula was redone, and I helped lead the way on that, when we had our bipartisan budget, we brought down the penalty for property values so that Norwalk could get more money. We also now have included in the formula, or for students who are English language learners who are in poverty or concentrated poverty. So all those things help our students in the City of Norwalk, and means that it takes fewer resources in the city, and the state is more of a participant. We have wonderful grants for our city projects, such as $3 million for Lockwood-Mathews Mansion, which is on top of the $5 million already. $3.5 million for Wall Street. $5 million for Gallaher Mansion in Cranbury Park, $3 million for our MLK Corridor Initiative, and $6 million, as we announced the other day, around the Sono train station for transit-oriented development. One of the best parts about the budget that I see is the fully funding Norwalk High School, is also the $10 million for Cranbury Elementary School, and the increase to 60% reimbursement rate, Henry's happy about that, for school construction over the next 25 years. Meaning when that South Norwalk School gets built, that one school will save taxpayers literally $25 million. And we multiply that over 25 years with all the other projects we want to do, and that will save taxpayers a lot of money, hundreds of millions of dollars, and a lot of money off their taxes. We also wanted to highlight some of the money for our nonprofits, and I can let some of my colleagues talk about that, but just as an example, we wanted to say thank you to some of the organizations this year that have been doing so much. One of which is Stepping Stones, that went from $30,000 now to $100,000. They've worked hard over the pandemic to make sure kids are healthy and stay healthy physically and mentally. I want to thank them for that. We put money in this year for the Youth Business Initiative, and want to recognize them. And also the Norwalk International Cultural Exchange is making a state investment for the first time. Anybody who's been to the NICE Festival knows that this is not just something for Norwalk, but is in fact something for the region and for the state. And they do good work, and they deserve to have a state investment as well. So I'll stop there. I'll have Mayor Rilling come up, and again, wanted to thank him for his partnership, his work, his staff, who is amazing. And again, thank them for everything that they do. But most importantly, wanted to say thanks to the delegation for their hard work, Governor Lamont for his support for things in Norwalk, our Senate President, Martin Looney, our House leadership for their support, because none of this stuff happens in a vacuum. Nobody does this by themselves. And if it weren't for the support of all the folks I've mentioned and more, we wouldn't be able to stand here today. So thanks, and we're going to continue to celebrate such great returns for the City of Norwalk. Thanks, Mayor.